She never thought her life could collapse in a single afternoon. But on that cold Thursday, as the sun dipped behind the buildings, Maya Lopez stood outside the glass doors of the company she'd given 6 years of her life to, staring at the termination letter in her shaking hands. Her heartbeat didn't just race. It echoed inside her chest, inside her mind, inside every dream she had ever dared to imagine. She had been loyal, hardworking, the type who cleaned up other people's mistakes, stayed overtime without being asked, and still thanked her boss every morning. But none of that mattered now. Budget cuts, they said. Nothing personal, they said. But when your bills due, rent hanging over your head, and a half-empty fridge at home, it feels very personal. She walked slowly to the bus stop, the chilly wind slipping through her coat, her eyes burning with the tears she refused to let fall. People passed her, busy, loud, laughing, arguing, everyone living their own stories while hers silently crumbled. When she got home, her apartment felt different, quieter, colder, almost like it was grieving with her. She warmed up leftover soup, sat by the window, and stared into night sky as if waiting for someone to tell her what to do next. No one did. Not that night. Morning came with a heaviness she carried like a weight tied to her chest. She opened her laptop and searched for jobs until her eyes blurred, until the same words, experience required, position filled, overqualified, stabbed the same wound again and again. 3 days passed. No interviews. No replies. By the 5th day, her savings had dropped to a number that made her stomach twist. She had always been responsible, but responsibility can only stretch so far when life squeezes it from every direction. She walked to a small cafe she used to visit on good days, when life still felt promising. She bought the cheapest thing on the menu, a small black coffee, and sat in the corner, hoping a change of scenery would help her breathe. She didn't notice the man sitting at the table across from her, not until he spoke. "Are you okay?" She looked up, startled. He was older, maybe in his late 50s. Worn jacket, gentle eyes, the kind of stranger you wouldn't remember on the street, but the kind you'd never forget if he ever decided to talk to you. She tried to smile. Just a rough week. He nodded slowly. Losing something? She blinked. "How did you?" "I've sat in that exact chair." Same look on my face. Life has a way of hitting all of us eventually. For some reason she didn't understand, her eyes welled up. Maybe it was the truth in his voice. Maybe the exhaustion of holding everything inside. Maybe she just needed someone, anyone, to ask if she was okay. "I lost my job," she finally whispered. "I don't know what to do." The man leaned back, studying her gently, not with pity but with something different. Something like recognition. "Tell me," he said, "if you could do anything in the world, anything at all, what would it be?" She almost laughed. "Sir, I can't think about dreams right now. I'm thinking about rent." He smiled. "Dreams don't disappear just because you're scared." She looked down at her coffee. Then, slowly, she answered. "Art," she said. "I would paint. It's the only thing that ever made me feel alive. But I stopped years ago. Life got too busy." The man's eyes softened. "Do you have any of your paintings with you?" She shook her head. "I haven't painted in a long time. I don't even have supplies anymore." He reached into his bag and pulled out a small box of colored pencils and a blank sketchbook. Old, but carefully kept. "These were my wife's," he said, his voice suddenly fragile. "She passed away 2 years ago. She used to draw when she felt lost. And she told me something before she left." He placed the sketchbook in front of Maya gently, as if setting down something sacred. She said, "When you meet someone who needs as more than you miss me, give it to them." Maya stared at the sketchbook. Her throat tightened. "I can't accept this," she whispered. "You can," he said softly, "and I hope you will. But I have one request." She looked up confused. "What request?" "Draw something for me," he said. "Anything. Whatever your heart says." Her hands trembled as she opened the sketchbook. The pages smelled faintly of time and memory. She picked up a pencil. And something inside her, something she thought she had buried, began to rise. She started drawing. Slowly at first. Lines that were hesitant, unsure. then more confident, then free. 15 minutes passed. 30, an hour. By the time she lifted her head, her breath caught in her chest. She had drawn the man's wife, not from a photo, not from a description, but from the way he spoke of her, from pure feeling. His eyes widened, then glistened, then overflowed. "That's her," he whispered, voice breaking. "That's exactly her." He wiped his tears, unable to look away from the portrait. "You don't understand," he said shakily. "I've been looking for someone who could capture her soul like this. I run a small foundation for young artists, and I've been searching for someone talented, someone who deserves a chance. I think I just found her." Maya froze. "What do you mean?" "I want to help you," he said. "Financially, professionally. I want to give you a place to paint, supplies, and a platform to show your work. No strings attached. Just one condition." She swallowed. "What condition?" He smiled, the warmest smile she had seen in months. "Promise me you'll never give up on yourself again." Her vision blurred with tears. She nodded, unable to speak, her whole body shaking from disbelief and relief. The man stood, gently placed his hand on her shoulder, and said just 5 words that changed her entire future. "Your life starts again today." From that moment, everything shifted. She found herself painting again, first in a small studio the man arranged, then in exhibitions, then online where her work reached thousands. Her art began to sell. Her confidence returned. Her life rebuilt itself piece by piece, stroke by stroke. And every time she felt doubt creeping in, she opened the first page of that old sketchbook and looked at the portrait she drew that day. A reminder that sometimes you don't need the whole world to believe in you. You just need one stranger, with one request, at the right moment, to change everything.